Today on Nobius AI Briefing, Anthropic's tightening access for Claude with newly revealed detection code, XAI's latest Grok model entering private beta at Elon's companies, and why a massive 100 million investment just bet big on reliable AI. We're talking about how geopolitics, lightning fast iteration, and pure dependability are reshaping the AI landscape for every builder right now. No BS AI Briefing brought to you by Proactive AI. Welcome back. I'm your host Vikash Sharma, and this is where builders get straightforward AI news without the fluff. Alright, let's dive into some high signal items that hit the wire. First up, Anthropic tightens access and embeds China detection code. This is a big one. What happened, according to sources like Buildfast with AI and Money Control, is that Anthropic has been actively detecting and shutting down unauthorized cloud access. They're specifically targeting Chinese companies that have been trying to use Singapore subsidiaries and VPNs to get around restrictions. And get this, MLQ.ai reports that Anthropic has had hidden China detection code in Claude since April, using signals like time zones and proxy usage to spot these bypasses. The fallout? Alibaba has apparently banned Claude tools from July 10, citing what they call backdoor risks. Now, why does this matter for builders? Well, for starters, you should expect stricter model access enforcement across the board, not just from Anthropic. It's a clear signal. You'll need to audit your own stack for any indirect access points, even if unintentional. And you should definitely plan for spend caps and entitlement changes as AI governance hardens globally. It's not just about what the tech can do anymore, it's about who can use it and where. Next, we're seeing Grok 4.5 enter private beta at SpaceX and Tesla. Built Fast with AI broke this story, reporting that XI's new 1.5T parameter Grok 4.5 is now being tested internally. What's interesting here is that it was reportedly trained with supplemental cursor coding data, suggesting XAI is really leaning into specialized datasets. Internal benchmarks are whispering that Grok 4.5 is performing near or even above Anthropic's Opus 4.8, and the aggressive pace continues. XAI apparently plans monthly V9 based releases all through 2026. For us builders, this signals incredibly faster frontier model iteration. We're not talking about annual updates anymore. It also highlights XAI as a proprietary alternative to the OpenAI and Anthropic duopoly, which could foster more competition and specialized offerings. And pay attention to that proprietary developer data bit. It's becoming a significant training edge, reminding us that data advantage can be just as crucial as compute. Also, some significant funding news. Scaled Cognition just raised a $100 million Series A round for reliable AI. Angel Investors Network reported that the Mountain View based company closed this massive round led by Khosla Ventures, valuing them at $750 million. Their core focus? Building reliable production grade AI. This isn't about chasing the flashiest new model, is it? It's about making AI that actually works consistently in real world business scenarios. Why should you care? This underscores a growing demand for reliability, safety, and governance as key differentiators in enterprise AI infrastructure. The market is maturing, it's moving past pure capability and into dependable operationalization. If you're building products that need to be trusted, this kind of investment signals that the market is ready to pay for that peace of mind. Then, more on the safety front, Anthropic's safety classifier is being touted over even Opus 4.8, GPT 5.5, and Kimi K2. The Street and MLQAI are reporting that Anthropic's dedicated safety classifier is flagging vulnerabilities and jailbreaks better than several of those much stronger, larger models. It's apparently already embedded in products like Fable 5 and other systems. What does this mean for builders? It's simple. Safety performance is quickly becoming a core selection criterion for production deployments, especially in security critical applications. It's not just about how smart the model is, but how safe it is. If your product needs to handle sensitive data or operate in regulated environments, a robust safety layer isn't a nice to have, it's a must have. You'll be looking for these capabilities from your model providers or building them in yourself. Finally, a real world win that puts AI into perspective. Here, now health is scaling successfully using AI. Reuters covered this, highlighting how Here Now Health leveraged AI to accelerate their startup operations and growth, even though they're not an AI native company. They're a healthcare company using AI as a tool, not as their core offering. This story reinforces AI as a practical utility for business acceleration across all sectors, not just those directly in AI. It's proof that the utility phase of AI is genuinely here. If you're a founder in a traditional industry or an indie hacker building a tool for a specific niche, this should encourage you. You don't have to be an AI company to use AI to scale dramatically. Now, let's go a bit deeper on that first headline because I think it's the most important story of the batch. We're talking about in Anthropic's geopolitical tightrope, those access controls, the hidden detection code, and the bigger picture of AI governance. What actually happened here? In plain English, Anthropic, known for its safety first approach to AI, discovered that Chinese companies were allegedly bypassing their usage restrictions. They were doing this by setting up subsidiaries in places like Singapore and using VPNs to access Claude. In response, Anthropic put in place some detection mechanisms, including what MLQAI described as hidden China detection code that's been there since April. This code uses signals like IP addresses, time zones, and proxy usage to identify unauthorized access. The direct consequence of all this? Alibaba, a giant in China, has reportedly ordered its internal teams to stop using Claude tools by July 10, citing concerns about potential backdoor risks. Why does this matter right now for us builders? This isn't just about Anthropic protecting its IP or complying with regulations. This is a spotlight on how capability, geopolitics, and governance are now inextricably linked, co-determining your access and the reliability of the models you depend on. Your ability to integrate a top tier model isn't just a technical challenge anymore, it's also a geopolitical and compliance challenge. It means the stability of your AI powered product could be affected by global policies, trade restrictions, or even a model provider's specific terms of service enforcement. Are you sure you can continue to use that foundational model in all your target markets? So, who should really care about this? Founders. Absolutely. This affects your strategic planning, your market access, and the resilience of your entire AI supply chain. Can you afford to have a core dependency suddenly cut off? Product managers need to consider the feature roadmap implications. What happens to a key feature if the underlying model becomes unavailable in a specific region where you have customers? Engineering leaders will need to think critically about architectural decisions. This pushes us towards multi-cloud or multi-model strategies and certainly demands ensuring legal and compliance frameworks are baked into deployment. And indie hackers don't think you're exempt. Even if your project is small, if you're using models from a provider with strict TOS, using a VPN to access it could land you in hot water or cause unexpected service interruptions. How would I think about this as a builder? I'd draw an analogy to cloud regions. You wouldn't deploy your entire critical infrastructure into a single cloud region without a robust disaster recovery plan, would you? You'd diversify, have redundancies. Now you need to start thinking about geopolitical regions for your AI stack. What if your primary model provider suddenly can't serve a key market because of a new policy or a TOS enforcement? What if your internal data pipeline indirectly touches a restricted region? This necessitates a deeper dive into diversification and a meticulous understanding of terms of service. It's about de-risking single API dependence, not just for technical stability, but for geopolitical stability too. It's a new layer of resilience we need to build. My no BS take on this is straightforward. While the framing of hidden code might sound a bit sensational, ultimately it's about Anthropic enforcing its terms of service. But the bigger picture is undeniable. AI is deeply entangled with national interests, trade policies, and geopolitical rivalries. Expect more friction, more explicit controls, and frankly, more headaches in model access and deployment. As builders, we simply have to bake this into our risk models, not just our technical architecture. This isn't a temporary blip, it's the new reality of building with frontier AI. If you want one practical takeaway from today's episode, here it is. Experiment. Audit your AI infrastructure for geopolitical risk. Here's how to try it in under 30 minutes. Step 1. List every external AI model or API you currently use in your product or internal operations. For each, go to the provider's website and meticulously review their terms of service, paying special attention to country or region restrictions, export control policies, and where they process data. Step 2. Next, identify all your key customer markets and operational regions. Cross-reference these with the restrictions you found in Step 1. Are any of your critical markets currently at risk of service disruption or potentially in non-compliance, even indirectly, due to your model dependencies? If you have users in China, for example, is your usage of Anthropic or even other models compliant? Step 3. For any high-risk dependencies you've identified, spend a few minutes brainstorming alternatives. Could you switch to a different model provider? Is there an open source model you could host on-premise or within a compliant cloud region? Or can you pivot a specific feature to a multi-model strategy to reduce reliance on one single provider? Even small changes can build resilience. Why is this specific experiment worth your time right now? Because the Anthropic news isn't just some abstract policy discussion. It shows that enforcement is real and it can affect your product's stability and market access overnight. A quick audit now can help you prevent a major outage, a legal headache, or losing access to a critical market later on. This isn't about fear mongering, it's about pragmatic risk management in a rapidly changing world. Don't wait until you're forced to react, be proactive. That's it for today's No BS AI briefing. If this helped, follow the show in your podcast app and share it with one builder you know. And if you've got questions or topics you want covered, connect with me on LinkedIn and send them over. See you in the next briefing.